worse, though. Yesterday, it was revealed that Sally Bercow, the wife of the Speaker in the House of Commons, reportedly had had an affair with her husband's cousin, Andrew Bercow.
It's really ugly when it gets, you know, it's bad enough for any couple when it's discovered and for whatever reasons an adulterous affair has been revealed amongst the family. In the papers, this is obviously deeply upsetting for everyone involved. Pictures of Sally Bercow there on the front of the paper. I don't know what I want. I don't know what John wants, she said. A friend has said Sally is hoping he'll divorce her for adultery. If he doesn't, she'll have to try to divorce him. Then you've got the fact that Sally was apparently, according to the newspaper, heartbroken when Alan, who's John's cousin, broke off their alleged affair, went back to wife Erica. Erica reportedly said, "You have to have a heart to have it broken. I find all this very tasteless. I don't want to make any more comments to feed the woman's ego and narcissism." So this has got about as ugly as it gets in the papers. I know you've got a set of tips that will try and ease the way through should this happen to you. When it happened to you, or when I mean, in fact, you were married, I think, married in June 2007. At what point did you start the affair?
The affair started slightly before we actually had the ceremony. In fact, we got married at City Hall in New York, and then we actually decided to have a sort of civil ceremony afterwards. And it happened about a couple of months afterwards.
Why did you get married?
At the time, I thought that that's actually what I wanted. And things started to deteriorate in terms of our communication after that. And we just didn't know how to communicate with one another, and things just got gradually worse, you know, the elephant in the room, that sort of thing. And now, looking back, what I realised is that I was just very unhappy. So
would you have continued it if he hadn't found you out?
Yeah.
No, I don't think I would have done, actually. I was ready to leave it.
So what was his reaction once you spoke to him?
Well, he was really angry, as you can imagine. It's suddenly you have a situation that you think is one way, and then suddenly it's revealed to you that it's in a completely different way. And so he was just really shocked and just didn't really know what was going on. He couldn't understand why. And that was when we actually had the most meaningful conversation I think we ever had when we were together, as to what had been going on and, you know, whether we could move forward with it or not.
You tried to persuade him to stay, didn't you?
Yes, I did, yeah. There was a lot of guilt on my part. I was really confused. So I didn't really know at the time what it is I wanted. And when you're in that situation and your head is full of thoughts and you're living in that anxiety, it's really difficult to see clearly as to what it is you do want and how you can move forward.
And now you have moved forward, and obviously you've gone on to marry somebody else and you're very happy with a child. Do you look back with regret, or do you think actually it happened and I'm glad it happened?
Yes and no, in that looking back, I wish it happened differently. However, there are no more regrets, because I can see that it's actually been really worthwhile in terms of me being able to help other women in that situation.
How did you feel about yourself?
In the moment, really bad, actually. But it was just another symptom of me being really unhappy with myself.
And Rebecca, I mean, you set up the female-only private detective agency. This is finding out if your partner is cheating. Did you set that up before or after you found out that you'd been cheated on yourself?
It was 2 years after. So I had been through a very similar experience. I had been cheated on, and I wanted to help other people, but actually I got over it, and it was other things that actually split us up in the end, rather than the whole infidelity.
But when you discovered his affair, was that because of your own detective work, as it were?
It was in the end, yeah. I mean, I tried to hire private investigators. I didn't like them, so I got my friends to do it instead, and yes, they did catch them ourselves.
And what made you suspicious in the first place?
Oh, it was everything. I mean, it's a whole list of things that you sort of start to spot. I mean, they spend more time on the phone, they go to work early, they come back late. There's a whole list that sort of goes with it. Not one thing can ever be said, that person's having an affair. It's a whole circumstance of situations.
And did you think that you could make it work as well? The two of you stuck together?
I could, no, because of other reasons, but I could have got over the infidelity, certainly, yeah.
And how do you get over the heartache of something like that?
It's really difficult. I mean, you know, there's probably not... There's a few things that are more painful than finding out, you know, if your other half has been having an affair, but it is one of the most horrific feelings that you will ever go through. But you can get over it. I mean, you have to be honest. The person who has been in your position has to be brutally honest, has to say this happened, that happened. But equally, the person who's being told the information has to be really careful what they want to know. If you want to move forward, do you want to know everything?
And can I ask you both, do you think, it's a very general question, but do you think men and women have affairs for very different reasons?
Yeah.
So why do you think women have affairs?
Women need more of emotional connection. Men, generally, it's a bit of a one-off, bit of it was in front of my face, I couldn't kind of stop it kind of thing. But women are seeking something else, and there's something that they're missing or there's something that they're unhappy with, and that's why they do it.
70% of cases you see survive the affair.
Yeah, it's true. At the end of the day, yes, an affair is a horrific thing, but, you know, people who are invested in relationships, they've got families, children, finances, everything, and an affair is a difficult thing to get over, but what's worse, turning your whole life upside down, you know, it's completely, it's a horrific situation to deal with.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I was going to say, what I've seen with working with my clients is that it's usually a symptom of something, it's not the reason. So it's a symptom of a misunderstanding, it's a symptom of not being able to communicate with one another, it's a symptom of... And so they think that actually looking outside is actually where the answer lies. And usually it's not. So it's just that misunderstanding.
You've got a couple of quick tips. You say get all the facts out into the open, take responsibility, don't keep it all inside.
No. At the end of the day, you can't move forward unless you've completely got everything out. I mean, let's not, you know, go extreme. Don't go blasting it all over social media. You know, don't... Well, it happens, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, I've got to take your other point here. Don't air your dirty laundry.
No. Oh, a classic example, unfortunately.
I mean, unfortunately, some people just don't have any choice.
Well, you can't... Well, I don't know. I think she should just stay indoors for a bit, personally. But, you know, you do have to trust in somebody. You do have to get it all out. If you don't want to go telling everybody because they're going to remember what's happened for years to come, go to a professional. But don't stand outside your doorstep and cry your heart out. It's not a good look.
Well, we don't know the circumstances of what made her cry there, I have to say. Thank you very much indeed, both of you. Absolutely fascinating. That is the subject of our phone-in today. Are you a woman who's had an affair and you don't know what to do? Maybe you've been found out and you want to save your marriage. Or maybe you want to come clean to your partner.
We can change your name and your call will be treated in confidence. The number to call, as always, is 08000 30 40 44, and we need them in by 11:20 this morning. You can also email us at thismorning@itv.com.